Welcome into the Cowboys Report. It is cut down day, and we have all of the Cowboys roster cuts and their initial 53-man roster to break down for you guys. We'll begin with the offensive players here. We mentioned Clayton Thorson a couple of days ago. He was cut. Shewo Olanalua and Darius Anderson were also cut. And yes, in the coming days, folks, you will see some players added to the practice squad, and we'll break that down as well. Several receivers were cut. Devin Smith, Kevin Jones, Aaron Parker, and John Vay Johnson, the former favorite pet cat of Cowboys fans everywhere. I think there is a very good chance that John Vay is able to clear waivers and make it to the practice squad. In fact, this year, more than most years, I think you'll see players able to clear to the practice squad, even though in reality, 90% of the players are able to clear waivers. That's just how the NFL typically works. 2 tight ends were cut, which means, yes, there's a surprise one on the roster we'll get to. Charlie T. Cole Hicatini also cut. Mitch Hyatt was waived injured earlier this offseason, but that came like a couple days ago, so we included him on that roster cut. Pace Murphy was also released by the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we're going to break down some more cuts, but folks, it is finally here. Week 1. We're going to call it game week now because the Cowboys play on Sunday. Who wants a Week 1 Sunday night football watch party here on the Cowboys Report? I do, but if you agree, we got to let the bosses know. I need you guys to like this video for me, so do it right now so we can make sure we have that watch party for you guys for Week 1. All right, some more roster cuts here. Adam Redmond, you guys knew about that one. Wyatt Miller has been released. Cody Wichmann, Marcus Henry. You might see 1 or 2 of these guys sneak on down to the practice squad. You will see Isaac Alarcon on the practice squad this year. This is part of the process. He will be released. He will not be able to really be claimed by anyone else. And then he's going to be the bonus practice squad player as part of the International Pathway Player Program for the Dallas Cowboys. Ladarius Hamilton, he's been released, but also Francis Bernard has been cut by the Dallas Cowboys. This one was a little bit more of a surprise. We will see if he clears waivers. He might be the one most likely to get picked up, but it was an interesting move there by the Dallas Cowboys to move on from Bernard and go light, by the way, at the linebacker spot, Justin Hamilton, he has been cut by the Cowboys. Justin March was also released in a bit of a surprise move, along with guys like Rondell Carter on the defensive line. Savion Smith, he could be a practice squad player for the Cowboys. And then in a couple maybe surprising moves in the secondary, we've talked about Clinton-Dix, his release. I know you guys already saw that one. But C.J. Goodwin has also been cut by the Dallas Cowboys. Now, specifically March and Goodwin, do not be surprised if tomorrow or Monday or whatever, the Cowboys re-sign those players. Goodwin, as a veteran, actually isn't subject to clearing through waivers, so he will be able to be re-added by the Cowboys. There are going to be some roster moves. You might see Sean Lee, for example, maybe a Ventell Bryant go on IR. That would allow the Cowboys to bring back Goodwin and put him on the active roster. So who are you most upset about the Dallas Cowboys cutting? They also cut Luther Kirk this week, the other defensive back here, along with Deontay Burton was also cut. But this will be the pinned comment. So who do you think, who are you most upset by the Dallas Cowboys cutting? Maybe it's Clinton-Dix, maybe it's Goodwin. Let me know what you guys think. If you get the ad break here on YouTube, now's the best time because it's coming up, and then we're going to break down the full Cowboys initial 53-man depth chart. Or roster, I should say. Whatever, it's all the same. Dak Prescott, Andy Dalton, and the Nooch has made the team for the Cowboys. Ben DiNucci is a member of the initial Cowboys 53-man roster, and I don't expect him to be cut anytime soon. We mentioned Clayton Thorson. He's gone. No real surprise there. So DiNucci is going to be quarterback 3 for the Cowboys. Are you glad? I kind of went back and forth on if they would keep him my final roster projection, which, of course, got a few things wrong. I had him on there. But get your votes in. Type Y for yes or type N for no. One of the first surprises as we go position by position here, Rico Dowdle is RB3. I thought the Cowboys might go with just 2. That is not the path they've gone. I think Dowdle will help contribute potentially on special teams, and that matters at the back end of the roster. There is no fullback for the Cowboys, but we'll talk more about that at tight end. As for receiver, No surprise at the big three, right? Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb also there. Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, and at least for the time being, Ventell Bryant is a member of the Cowboys' 53-man roster. Watch out for tomorrow, maybe even this evening, the Cowboys to reveal they're going to put Ventell Bryant on IR. IR rules are different this year, folks. You can have an unlimited number of players placed on IR and eligible to return after at least a 3-week time frame, but they have to make it past 53-man roster cuts to be eligible for that. I believe that's what's happening here with Ventell Bryant, so watch out for him to go on IR and maybe someone like a Bernard or a Goodwin or March to take his place on the roster. Now, we do still have some jerseys available with part of my $1,000 bonus from our friends over at BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys75. You put down the $100 deposit. You'll get that big fat deposit bonus, and you'll be eligible for a Cowboys jersey. If you are among the first 10, you can hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. Got it on my timeline as well. But it's chatsports.com/bet. The promo code is Cowboys75. Only a few jerseys left, so get in while you guys still can. Over to tight end now. Of course, the I'm going to say big three, but it's Jarwin and the other guys, Dalton Schultz and Blake Bell. I think you'll see Dalton Schultz and Bell kind of handle some fullback duties. Sean McKeon, though, the undrafted rookie free agent out of Michigan, he also made the roster as tight end 4, giving the Cowboys some extra depth. I'll be honest, folks, I am surprised the Cowboys went with 3 backs, 6 receivers, and 4 tight ends on their initial 53-man roster. The offensive line was actually exactly what I thought it was going to end up being. Tyron Smith, Connor Williams, Joe Looney, Zach Martin, La'el Collins, those guys are your starters right now. Cam Irving, Connor McGovern, Tyler Biadasz, Brandon Knight, and then undrafted free agent rookie Terrence Steele out of Texas Tech, who's going to be very much a developmental guy. Those are your 10 offensive linemen, and you also went with 10 on the defensive line. Randy Gregory does not count. He is not counting against the 53-man roster, so for the time being, a move will have to be made after Week 6, but for right now, it's DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford. Tristan Hill is actually maybe DT2 or 3 right now over Neville Gallimore and or Crawford. Antoine Woods are your big boys on the interior. Then it's Tank, Everson Griffin, Alden Smith, Dorrance Armstrong, and Bradley Anae at the defensive and edge rusher spot. So no huge surprises on that front. Now, do you guys want the best Cowboys coverage during the season? Maybe you guys want a practice squad video, because as these begin to trickle out, we will keep you guys updated. We will break down that practice squad for you as well. Maybe you'll see Rondell Carter on that list. So hit the big red button, subscribe, and you know what? Make sure you got notifications turned on. That way you don't miss anything on the Dallas Cowboys. Linebacker, the Cowboys went thin, and I was surprised by that. Justin March and Francis Bernard were both released. Luke Gifford made the team. There had been some debate about if he was going to or not. Joe Thomas, of course, Sean Lee, LVE, Jalen Smith all make it. And Sean Lee, remember I mentioned Ventell Bryant could be going on IR. Keep an eye out for Lee being placed on IR. In fact, he's more or less expected to open up the season on injured reserve. He hasn't done anything really in camp, has a sports hernia. He should be back as soon as 3 weeks. That's the earliest he can return to the Cowboys, and he'll still be around, of course, as the old veteran presence guy. So once Lee is placed on IR, I would watch out for Justin March or maybe Francis Bernard, but I think it might be March right now for special teams value to make it back onto the 53-man roster. So keep that in mind. The Cowboys will be able to make other roster moves, and they might not be done when it comes to potentially signing other players. Of course, they've been linked to Brandon Carr and this guy named Earl Thomas. Maybe you've heard of him. But who do you guys want the Cowboys to sign? Let me know what you think in the comments section. All right, so with no C.J. Goodwin, the Cowboys have other options here at cornerback. They go 5 deep, and Goodwin was always going to be a return or a special teams guy anyway. Chidobe Awuzie, Trevon Diggs, Anthony Brown, Darryl Worley, and a currently a bit banged-up Jordan Lewis, who could also potentially be a bit of an IR candidate. Those are the 5 corners for the Cowboys. You expand then to the secondary overall with the safeties, Xavier Woods, Darian Thompson, Donovan Wilson and cornerback safety could merely just be a redshirt candidate, Reggie Robinson, all make this team. And that finally brings us to the special teams, and no shockers here. Maybe you see Rico Dowdle get some work as a backup kick return or punt returner, but that is the Cowboys' 53-man roster. That's where they're at right now. But as a reminder, folks, there will be changes. This is simply the initial version. So there will be updates, and we will keep you guys covered on anything that changes over the next couple of days as the Cowboys get going into Week 1. So if you haven't already, subscribe today. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.